Hey y'all, thanks for stopping by. So the Oscars were last night, and I'm not a big fan of award shows like that in general. I just don't really like the spectacle of it all. It's just like, everybody's just patting each other on the back and all this and that. That's just me. I know that's not an uncommon opinion among people, but there was a bit of an event at the Oscars last night with Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith. And I, yeah, unexpected is, to say the least. I don't think anybody was expecting to see something like that at the Oscars. And, whether you want to say that it was scripted or anything like that, people are going to have crazy conspiracies about anything. But from what it looks like, Chris Rock made a Chris Rock made a joke at the expense of Will Smith's wife about a sensitive subject, and Will Smith decided no, and got on stage and slapped him in the mouth, and then sat back down and screamed at him, and that was it. Now, as far as they're concerned, and as far as any sort of legality is concerned, according to their little press release, Chris Rock chose not to press charges with the LAPD. So to me, it's done. You know, I don't see any point in arguing about what happened because, in a legal sense, it's done. Like, this does not matter. I even feel kind of dumb making this video, to be honest, because it's like this happened at an award show. This really does not matter at all. But, people are going to be talking about it. So, and I have seen two major trains of thought that I've seen about this. The one side is people who are saying, well, you shouldn't do anything violent just because someone said words at you. You have freedom of speech, and yeah, no, fair, sure, okay. And the other side of things is people who are saying, well, don't talk shit and you won't get slapped in the mouth. That's just kind of how it goes. Now, how I look at this and I see that, after seeing Chris Rock chose not to press charges, which by all legal sense, he was well within his rights to do that. He chose not to. Why? Why wouldn't you do that if you had the legal right to do it? Well, maybe he realized he messed up. A little bit of humility. I'm making a joke at whether, I don't know how Hollywood folks deal. I'd imagine they're just like regular people, but, you have a peer group of, people who you hang out with, and I imagine actors hang out with actors. At a certain point, it's a level of disrespect making jokes like that. You know, if this was a friend of yours who made a joke at the expense of your wife or your girlfriend or your husband, your spouse, your significant other, whatever. If this was someone who you've known for a long time and you've trusted, and they make this joke, at a live event that your wife is not at because she's not well, I would say something. I would imagine you would. As far as slapping somebody in the mouth, personally, the cameras being there would be a deterrent for me. But yeah, I would say that's a reasonable reaction to someone making that kind of joke about your wife. And then the fact that Chris Rock chooses not to press charges, yeah, I think he realizes he kind of spoke out of turn a little bit. You get what's coming to you sometimes. That's the thing that I find the funniest about these people who are taking the side of, well, violence is wrong. You shouldn't do that just because someone said words at you. These are these are people who, like, these free speech absolutionist types who feel like they should be able to say anything they want without consequence. And yes, There can be consequence to hitting somebody. Of course there are. That's battery. You did it on camera. But the person who was hit chose not to press charges because he knew, yeah, that was out of line. Maybe, it sounds weird, but maybe that's kind of what people are missing. We spend all this time, people feel like they're invincible because no one's ever given them corrective action. And it doesn't have to be slapping somebody across the face. I wouldn't suggest hitting people that say mean things to you. But some people take it that far. And then they get hit, and then that's their sort of wake up call. A lot of people, we don't need to get to that point, but some of us do. And that happened last night. Do I think it's wrong to hit somebody who says something mean about you or your wife? No. No, I don't. There's consequences to stuff like that. And especially if it's someone who you know, and like if it's a friend of yours saying something like that, that hurts more than a stranger saying something. You can brush off a stranger, but people who you trust that have been in your home saying things like that to you or to your spouse, I'm not surprised. But like I said, this is a non-issue. Charges aren't being pressed. This is done. This should not be talked about. But people will, and people are going to they're going to blow all of this out of proportion. So, we'll see what happens. Y'all have a good day.